Hello, my name is Admiral. Today I'd like to tell you a story about the day I decided to dress up as a tramp and go knocking on the neighbours' doors to ask if I could go and live with them. My memory of it is that I put on my father's overalls. He used to do painting when he wasn't a firefighter. He was an interior and exterior decorator. For many years I didn't really know what that was, but as a child I knew that it sounded very impressive. And so I put on these overalls that were all covered in paint, and I put knot all over my face and all through my hair and pinned all my hair back, got a big stick and got a big scarf, filled it with things so I'd have a knapsack. I went to the neighbours and I knocked on the door, and Helen Salmon came to the door. Helen and Colin were our lovely neighbours, and Colin was an executive with Radio Caroline there in Timaru, New Zealand, and I used to babysit for their children. They were a lovely family, really lovely. And I knocked on the door this particular day and Helen goes, "Yes," and immediately closes the door, so we've just got a gap like this between us, and she's like, "Yes." I thought, "I'd like to come and live with you." And she's like, oh, Colin, calling her husband Colin. And meanwhile we're standing there, she's got this sort of awkward silence between us. She's looking at me, I'm looking at her. Then eventually I just fell apart laughing, and then Colin came to the door, and once they were quite sure it was me, because they really weren't convinced that it was me, because after all I was their babysitter and their neighbour, and they just couldn't, you know, they didn't recognise me. So I had already done that to my mother, who also didn't know who I was. And that's the end of the story.